So how's things been over in the States for you, Will?
Perfect, mate. No, good, mate. The senior team's tracking well, top of the Eastern Conference. So, yeah, I think if we win on Saturday against Chicago, we'll lock in a playoff spot, which is good. And then yeah, Chicago beat us earlier this year pretty comfortably, so it's a bit of I guess, a bit of a revenge on the cards game, hopefully for the team. But no, the team's tracking really well. We sort of started the season off probably a little bit under people's expectations, but it's a long season and we're starting to really get into our groove now. So yeah, got a trip to Scotland on Sunday, which will be great with our academy going there for a week. So looking forward to that.
Oh, that's good news, and sounds like you're a busy man as well, just like I am. And hey, I want to
Yeah,
quickly talk about the women's results because it's actually tightening up for
yeah,
the women's premier squad. I went and watched Dunedin AU game, and that was a really cool game to go watch because it was to and fro, and it wasn't until the end that Dunedin got over the top. And of course, if you remember, AU beat them in the first round, so pretty good result, 40-34. So
yeah. Well, those two teams historically play out pretty tight games, right? So yeah, I haven't checked the standings table for the women yet, if I'm completely honest. But I always knew that AU and Dunedin will be neck and neck, right? And then
yeah,
Big River Country always throw up a few good performances in there as well.
yeah. Talking about BRC, they closed the gap on University and only went down 19-10 to them, and it was like talking to Dan.
Awesome.
Dan was saying, because they're using Elevate now, that they can, go through their stats and go through pre game, after games, and it helps as coaching.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. That's really good. Elevate, as you know, provide a lot of coverage for teams in the area, so that's awesome for their analysis. Hey?
Yeah, yeah. And you can see BRC are improving, so they'll definitely. I do believe they'll be in the top four,
Mm.
and they'll play semis, so it'll be good for them. Good for Balclutha as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'd forgotten about completely forgotten about varsity as well. So no, it's yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you can always sort of pick that top four. I know the Waitaki Wahine are always in the mix there as well. Yeah, obviously it's sad there's no more Pirates. I love Pirates, but hopefully we can see them back up and running one day.
yeah, yeah. So we'll head over to the men's results, and we'll have it. We'll talk about Southern because
Yep.
that's the first cab off the rank. I want to leave Dunedin Harbour last, but I want to talk about Southern and the changes that Lobby made at first five with putting in Macca in there instead of Wyndham. It made a difference.
Yeah. No, it certainly did. Obviously, conditions certainly weren't suitable for running rugby, but the Southern still scored some really visually appealing tries, right, and some good team tries. And Mac is a complete X factor player, and we know he utilizes his kicking game as his traditional spiral bomb that he's got. He used that to pretty good effect on Saturday against Green Island. But I mean, he's just a player where he can create some absolute magical moments. So I know Lobby's thinking behind that, and what I really liked about Macca on Saturday, though, he played a real mature game. He didn't just run everything; he put the boys into space and was a solid first five from what you'd expect from a first five.
Yeah, I feel Wyndham's still a young lad and he's still struggling away there, but having him at fullback, he can watch what Mac is doing, and you get a better feel for the game when you're at fullback. And I just feel for Green
Yeah,
Island because like I know they're struggling, as you know, in the front row, and so that can't help them moving forward. I think they just got to get through this patch and get their injuries sorted out.
yeah, no, they've had a pretty tough run by the looks of it. So they had Michael Manson in the midfield. But yeah, I mean, front rowers are like gold, aren't they? So to lose a few of them is tough. And I know they've got Heath didn't play. I saw that Jesse's out with his leg in a cast. They got Ronan Dines in a cast. So yeah, they're certainly doing it tough. But the one thing I like about Green Island is that no matter what adversity they'll face, they'll be able to punch back. So I expect them to do that.
Yeah, and the Tyree Zingaree game was, I think, fairly predictable. I don't know what's going on with Zingaree. They seem to start well and fade. And I know William's a great coach, and I just feel for William. I think there's something going wrong there for them to drop so many games. You'd think they would be competing a lot more than they have been.
Yeah. No, I mean I definitely picked that Tyree would be too good for them. I mean Zingeria showing shades of an old Harbour Hawks team where I think they start games pretty well, and then just sort of don't know how to ride that momentum and keep themselves in the game when good things happen to them. So I mean it's always such a tough one, right? And they've certainly got a talented roster, but I think it's turning those small wins that they make on the field into actual genuine trends throughout the game. Whether it's fit, yeah, obviously I have no idea like whether it's fitness or whatever it is. I haven't analysed their games too much, but yeah, I'm sure they'll keep working hard at it.
Yeah, and Tyree just played an 80-minute game like they normally do, and it was, you can see that they're working their way towards, like staying in the top six and finishing this
Yeah,
first round off strong. And so that's down to Phil and his coaching style and the guys that have bought into it. So, like if you buy into something, and that you've got that consistency, and they have. So that's, they just need to build on that.
yeah.
But
No, they've
yeah,
they've got the cattle, that's for sure. This year they've got a good balanced squad, and yeah, I mean they've got a good leader to go with it, and the former Phil Young. So yeah,
yeah. And then you got Kaikra University, which was a bit of a surprise for me, a bit of a blowout. But then on Monday, I found out the reason why University didn't really show up. They're missing a few players, and they're going to have a hard struggle through the next month because I think they got 4 or 5 players playing in the New Zealand universities, and they're away. So
oh yeah,
so
yep,
that depth is going to
yeah.
get tested. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I saw those boys that made the squad. That's good for them. I saw Ricky Jackson made it, and Steve. So that's really cool. But yeah, that definitely makes sense. But again, Kaikarai as well. They've definitely got a younger side and more inexperienced side this year. And I'd still say that even if Varsity had those stars playing, I still thought Kaikarai played a really really good game of rugby, and they still would have tipped them up. So. Um, no, I mean Kaikarai have started to hit some real good form, and experienced players like Slade McDowell was really good on on Saturday, and Lucas there in the loose forward was amazing as well. So
yeah,
it's good to see for the Demons. They're hitting their strides.
yeah. They definitely got that momentum going forward, and they're going to really place themselves in that top six. And I think every game that they play from now on
Yeah,
is going to be a tight one. It's going to be a good contest. I think they're on track. So that brings us to the Harbour Dunedin
definitely.
game, and I went and watched that, and within 2 minutes, the young fella, what was his name? Ryan. Oh, geez, he got a red card. Talking to Craig Lawrence, and he was saying that the boys, because there's 3 brothers playing in that game, 2 for Dunedin and 1 for Harbour. Yeah, Ryan Palmer is the young fella's name, and the
Yeah,
Palmer boys. So they'd been winding him up before the game. So yeah, as Craig
right.
said, he's seen that one coming. So yeah, but the young fella will learn from it. So yeah, and then
Yeah,
losing
you're
Rico,
right.
then
Yeah,
losing Rico in the first half to an injury. Harbour just didn't recover, and yeah, and that's and with them playing into the wind, they blew themselves out in that first half. And when they turned with the wind, they didn't have nothing left in the tank. And losing Rico, it sort of
mm,
started their attack.
yeah.
Mm.
Sorry, you cut out there a bit, but yeah, I mean Rico. I guess it just goes to show that he holds the key to their attacking game, and hopefully his injury is nothing too serious. But yeah, I mean, a red card in the opening couple of minutes of a game can put your team on the back foot pretty quickly. And Dunedin were able to capitalise on that, and they're obviously used to those conditions out there at Kettle Park, and they made full advantage of that. So yeah, I'd say it's like a really tight Premier comp now. Like you've got that sort of those top four teams of Tyree, Dunedin, Harbour, Kite coming into form. Southern's obviously a bit of a roller coaster season at the moment, but that was a good win for them on Saturday. So yeah, I'm looking forward to picking the games this weekend. See what we've got.
Yeah, and I was talking to Joe Cook after the game. It was like a game of two halves for them. They didn't take full advantage of the wind, but turning into the wind, they just put their heads down and got their discipline right because I think they gave a shitload of penalties away in the first half when they didn't need
Yeah,
to. And so it was good to see them recover as two different teams and then to score into that wind and to keep Harbour not scoring. Big effort on Dunedin's part. So it was really good. So this week, um, we've got GI up against Zingaree. I think that one's pretty going to be pretty self-explanatory. But you've got a ailing,
yeah. I mean, well,
yeah, you got a GI side struggling with depth, so it might be close.
yeah. I think it could be close. Zingery, maybe this is the game where they can find a bit of form against a GI side that's struggling. Um, as you said, with injuries. So yeah, that one could be close. I'll pick GI to get it done. 1-12.
Yep. And then we've got AU up against University at North Ground. So, what are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think the students will be. I know AU's just had a bye, right? But the students, I think, will still be too skillful and too strong for AU, even with those reductions in players. So I think, yeah, 13 plus to the students.
You reckon? Oh, I don't know. Like I'm hoping that AU get up. If they have a fast start and they can hold on to it, it's probably a game they'll target, knowing that
Yeah,
University have got a down on strength. So it'll test University's depth, and I'm sure University will want to get back and improve on last week. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I reckon it's going to go either way. If AU win, it'll be 12 and under.
there you go. Take it.
Then we've got Harbour Kike. So there we go. That's going to be an interesting game down at Watson's Park out at the port. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that one as well?
Ooh. Yeah, I think if Rike is playing, I'll pick Harbour. If Rike is not playing, I'll pick Kike. Rico Milne, yeah, I think he's key to them. So we have to find out how serious that is. But yeah, I think he makes a difference to their kicking game down there. Conditions at Watson Park can be
Yeah,
pretty testing at the best of times. So I think if he's playing, I'll give it to the Hawks. But yeah, otherwise the Demons I think could get it done.
yeah, I'm not too sure about Rico. He did go to the hospital. I did know that. So I think it's a foot injury. So hopefully he is okay and he's playing. So yeah, but it'll test Harbour if he's not playing. But I think
Yeah,
they'll bounce back. I think they've got um too much cattle there. I think and they've got some good heads in behind them. So I think they should be able to pull through it. And then
let's
we got
see. Look forward to seeing it. How good.
yeah, yeah, and then we've got the old clash Southern and Dunedin at Bathgate Park. So for the Ron Reggett. So I know Reggie would be really keen to keep a hold of that. I think we've still got it. So yeah, Reggie be keen on that one.
Yeah, no, it's good. I know. Yeah, been a part of those fixtures before, and I know how much it means to Reggie and how much the trophy means to Southern, and I'm sure it means a lot to Dunedin as well. So no, I know. Yeah, that game's going to be tough to pick. I mean, as I said for Southern, it's sort of been a bit of, I guess, a roller coaster season so far. And they've certainly showed lots of bright patches, particularly on attack. If they can sort of connect the dots on Saturday against the Sharks, they might be too good for them. But it's very tough to pick. Is that game at Bathgate Park?
Yeah, it's at Bathgate Park. Yeah, yeah. So it may be one I want to go watch that. But then again, I want to see Harbour
Yeah.
quick as well. So, but
Sorry, your connection's cutting out heaps on me. It's real laggy.
yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, but you're coming through clear as. Yeah, so hopefully I can get down and watch Southern. So hopefully that works out well.
I could. Yeah. Rightio. Well, we can re-record it later anyway while I'm at training. I'll give you a buzz. You can watch it back.
Yeah, it seems to be going all right here. So we'll let you go, and I think we've got enough anyway. You didn't cut out on me.
Oh, beauty. I'll go Southern 1 to 12. There you go.
Yeah, sweet ass. Cheers, Wheels.
Thanks, AC.
Sort of waiting.
Do you want us to talk into the camera?
Oh, if you want to look at the
talk
camera,
to
you can
you
look at the camera, just talk at me or talk at each other.
Talk to each other. Oh,
yeah, and I think that's the easiest way to do it. Is just like chat and be, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Like quite often, like some people get quite.
Oh, that's good.
I
need that.
Yeah. I got this out of Southern. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a swipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. If a Barlina could tell some stories, I'm very sure this one can.
I'm sure it would.
Yeah, it's just like any club, like Dunedin Club and that. The history that's there.
Yeah.
I think even my old mate Nick Moore played there for a wee while.
Oh,
so,
yeah. The Moose.
Yeah, Moose.
Yeah.
Is he still around the club? Does he turn up, or is he?
No, I don't think I've ever had anything to do with him.
He would have been around a couple of years back.
I think he's popped in on the odd occasion, but not too often. Yeah. He's on the wall enough times though.
Yeah.
So scattered around the whole place.
No, he was a bit of a character.
Yeah.
I think he was a year younger than me.
Oh yeah.
And I can remember I was playing for Clutha and we were playing against the first 15. And next minute I get this smack behind the back of the head. And I'm like, who the, that's Nick. And he's running off laughing his head off. And I thought, you little shit. Because I always thought it was a wee fella. He was always bigger than he was.
Yeah.
But he started to fill out.
Yeah.
And he got a lot stronger. So he got my attention pretty quick.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't he? He's on a Spades question, isn't he?
That's how I know.
Yeah.
That's how I always remember.
Do you remember what it was?
It's just, what is it? It's like something about his nickname.
Moose.
I'm pretty sure, because his nickname is Moose.
Oh, yeah.
It's asking like what rugby player, his nickname is Moose. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, might be like a front row question or something.
I think it is.
Yeah, because he would have came up. I think he was just in behind Steve Houghton and Steve Cumberland.
Right.
He was in that. I think he was in that era.
Yeah.
And and then Case Muse them come along as well. So we were pretty good. Had some pretty good props back then. And he was one of them because he was quite fast.
Right.
Like for some. Like for this big boy, he can move.
Yep.
And I always find they're the scariest.
Still like you? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Case was like that. He was explosive.
Yeah. Not only that, but very quick-witted.
Yeah.
So. like you as well, eh?
Yeah.
You sure?
Hey, so welcome back to the show. Welcome to Sideline with AC and Southern Rugby Football Show. And today I've got Hunter in and I've got Joe in from Dunedin Rugby, and we're going to go talk some Dunedin Rugby. So, Hunter, we'll start with you. So, how long have you been at the club with Dunedin?
I'm in my 4th year at the club. So come up from Invercargill out of school and into the Sharks. So, it's been good. Been loving it.
So, you played a bit of Colts there as well?
Yep. Yeah, so I played Colts my first year, the whole year. And then the second year, I played a mixture of Colts and Prems. I was lucky enough to make my Prems debut in my first year just for one game.
Yeah.
And then, my last year was my first sort of full year, a bit more consistent in the Prems. So,
Yeah. And yourself, Joe? How long have you been there?
This will be my 4th year as well, I think. Come down from, I was living up in Auckland, playing footy up there, and ended up coming down and into the Prem side. I was a bit older than Hunter when I first started at the Sharks, so didn't get to go through the Colt system, but 4th year. So
so it's a bit of a culture shock coming from Auckland, coming down here, isn't it?
Yeah. Bit more rugged than that, I guess, than Auckland, but I'm a country lad myself, from the Coromandel, so it was sort of a nice mix, I guess, of city and sort of more rural, and it's quite a good sort of town vibe in Dunedin. Yeah. Everyone kind of knows everyone, and especially in the rugby scene, which is quite cool, but still big enough city for some good footy. Yeah. Which is good.
So I got a question for both of you, because like Dunedin has been one of the most high performing sides in the comp in the last 5 years, and you've never got over the line in a final. And it made me happy once, but your time must be coming soon, because I can see you's building again. And me and Wheels back to you this weekend, believe it or not. Wheels called it that you would beat Harbour. And so, because we know you're going to grow, you started slow. And talking with Cam, he was saying, you don't win championships at the beginning, you win them at the end. So what's that like, and what's the vibe in the camp this year compared to previous years?
I'll go first, I got the nod. You did right. I think we made the semis my first year, and then the final the last two. We were probably quite lucky to be in the final. That first one against Southern, to be fair. I think Kai are probably the best team in the comp by far that season, and then we managed to put them in the semi. And then, Southern beat us. I think last year sort of hurt a bit more. Felt like we were right up there. Definitely a better team and playing better footy. But couldn't get that last game, as you said. I think, I don't know, just got to keep learning from everything, I guess. It was still a really strong team this year, like you said, and a bit of a slow start to the season with a few injuries and a few boys away and whatnot. But like you said, building nicely, so hopefully we can just keep on doing that. Yeah.
And yourself, Hunter, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, I'd agree with Cookie there. Last year definitely hurt. We were probably one of the top contenders. But the biggest thing about losing a final is you want to take learnings out of the main. So we've lost 2 now. So going into this year, try to build on what we've learned from those years. And obviously it was a slower start compared to our last couple of years, but the feeling in the camp's pretty good. We're building nicely, and Saturday was definitely a good win for us to sort of start laying a good platform. So look to continue that going forward. Yeah,
because last year, just before the end of the last round, you played Southern, and I was talking to Harry after the game, and you'd beat us. And Harry goes, that was one of the most brutal games you'd ever been in. Very physical. You guys can get up there and you can just beat. Like I always say, Southern's going to beat you down, but you turn around and beat them up. So the potential's there, and I always bang on about consistency, right? Yeah. So you've got the consistency to go all the way. It's just a matter if you're on that day.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, that was like you're saying when you're talking to Cam, you definitely don't win the championship in the first few weeks, I guess. You probably lose one, I guess, but you definitely don't win it. And I think that goes down to, when Southern won it, because they went 2 in a row, and they were from 5th and 6th, I think, both years. So, and they were always a good team throughout the year, but definitely had quite a few losses against some of those top sides. And like you said, just got to show up on the day and knock out footy, So, I think the first year, my first year, they might have been in the final of Tyree.
Yep.
And I think Tyree were probably the better team.
Yep.
Throughout, I think they're unbeaten, actually,
They went
until the final.
Till the final,
Yeah, it's sort of the last thing you want really going into a final, I guess, But 2 good examples there of Southern going through. Pretty common, seems to be a trend in the last 10 odd years in this comp as well for this team that's not seeded first to win the comp. I think Green Island were the first to do it for quite a few years, actually, a few of the boys are saying. So
what did they do? They were seeded. No, I think they were seeded first or second last year, but they lost against Varsity.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then
so
they got the second chance, and then they proved me wrong, because I always said you've only got to win 3 games. They only had to win 2.
Yeah.
So
correct.
So I think they did finish top. Was that right? Yeah, they finished top. So they actually.
Top of the table,
but they lost against Varsity.
Yeah, yes, correct. Yeah.
So that was quite funny for me to see that, but it was good for GI and their football. And it's just like you guys, if you guys can get up there and compete, and at the end of the day, it's just, those last 3 games, that's where you want to play footy.
Yeah, correct.
And so my question to you guys: are you ready for it? You've had the disappointment. For me, when things go wrong, it just makes me even angrier, and I want to get it. I want to try even harder when I get to that point again, because it's very rarely that you get an opportunity to do it again and again.
Yeah.
But I feel you guys will get there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say the drive's definitely there, the want from the boys. Yeah, and just around the club in general, it would be a really special thing for the club if we could win one. And the team's definitely aware of that. And the want's definitely there from the lads, just to sort of get over that last hurdle, really. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people will be cheering you on at Shark Park. I think it's probably overdue. So we'll get off that subject anyway, because I wanted to talk about you, Hunter. You're with the Southern. Are you with Southland again this year?
Yep. Yeah, I am. Yep.
So when's that program for you start?
I think we assemble July. Start of July. Yep. So I head back down to Southland. And link up with the team down there. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, because it was a really good pre-season game last year with Otago.
Yeah.
It was really good to see.
Yeah.
Because I went down and watched that.
Yeah, in Gore. Yeah, it was a good day down in Gore, and there was plenty of fans there. So it was good for the community.
Yeah, and you were there too, weren't you, Joe?
No, I wasn't at that game. No.
Yeah, but you made the Otago squad, and you're in the last year, and you're in the high performance for Otago at the moment, aren't you?
Yep. I got in sort of a wee bit late. Probably, I think it was like a week into sort of NPC season. I sort of started coming in. There's quite a few injuries, and then was just sort of lucky enough to end up staying full time for the rest of the season, which was awesome. And I think I got in the team 3 times and got in the field twice. So I'll take that. But hopefully getting amongst that again this year. Involved with the high performance squad. Throughout club season, and then hopefully
because you're one of the like when I look at a back line, you when you're choosing people to play in your team, I would always tick you because you're always the guy that I was scared of when we come and played, because you're big, you're defensive, you've got and you can move. Okay, so that's one of those things as an opposition coach or an opposition, you look at that and you go, you've got to keep him quiet or else you're in trouble. So because you can always you're really good at making that line break and then feeding the ball on. So getting your Otago start last year for me was an absolute joy for me because I thought, he needs to be there. So and that's where I give the tick for you.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to get you in. So you must be enjoying that part of it and being a part of a line, a back line that's actually really good at Dunedin.
Yeah, I think been pretty lucky. Like the 4 years I've played at Dunedin, we've had a pretty snazzy back line. Most years, I think we just struggled a bit with depth was our problem, especially the year that Southern took it out. I think we were on experience level. I think it was like myself and Tim Hogan, and then boys just getting called in from all over. And everyone did well, to be fair, but we were missing a lot of boys who were regular starters and that. Yep. So, but I do enjoy having a nice back line. It is good, like you say, to be able to just make a wee break or get an offload, and you've got someone like Schmiduli or Kyan or young Augustine on your shoulder. It's always pretty good. So I guess it sort of make them look good, makes me look good, I guess.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Schmiduli because I picked him for his try of the week.
Yeah.
Now, when I went back through the replay, because I get to see it, he broke 8 tackles from a standing start. And I think he had 3 blokes on him at once and he shook them off and went and scored all by himself. So it must be pretty good to have someone like Schmiduli around.
Yeah, he's definitely a freak, eh?
Yes.
Like he has his quieter days and has his busy days, but like when he's got space, that was actually one of the more collision sort of like related tries I've seen him score. Right, like normally it's just someone else tends to make half a break, or he's just in space from the start and he's just gone like wheels. But it was actually quite cool to see him sort of go through people for a change. It was a bit different. I don't think he was even at top speed, eh?
No, he's a big man, so he's definitely hard to put down when he's going.
Yeah. No, so that's what I mean. Like you've got talent there, and it's just a matter of on the day winning. And like on Saturday, these guys put it together. Like actually, if I was to be honest, like your first half performance was pretty ratchet. Like with the win, it was he's gave away a lot of penalties.
Correct. Yeah.
Way too many.
Way too many.
Yeah.
Which limited your scoring opportunities. And then, as you said to me in the interview later, you turn it around and had the ball in hand. And another difference that made a difference was young Rico wasn't there helping, and I think Harbour just ran out of puff because they defended so well in that first half. That'd be about right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely should have scored more points that first half. We come out hissing, but then it was just sort of quite hard to actually keep the score rolling over. Like we were definitely playing in their sort of 22 or 40 most of the half, but couldn't score. Definitely would have worked out. Definitely helped us later in the game, I guess, in terms of like trying to gas them, having us playing all the footy down there. But with the win, like you said, would have been good to score a few more points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing was the red card with the Palmer boys.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I heard the two older ones were winding the younger one up.
Well, yeah, it was always bound to happen, I guess. Three brothers on the same field, there's always going to be a bit of a niggle there, but just glad it wasn't one of ours who got shown the sideline, yeah.
Yeah, I think Ryan will be better for it.
Yeah.
I think when you make errors of judgments like that as a young fella, you learn from it because it's a big price to pay.
Yes, definitely.
You know, like if he hasn't had a red card before, he's definitely looking at 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It might be 6 because it's quite, I feel for the young fella. Hey?
Yeah, it's been downgraded to a yellow.
Oh, to a yellow?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he got off pretty, yeah.
Hopefully my yellow's been downgraded to nothing.
Yeah, he got off pretty lightly, to be fair, but I guess that's the way it goes
I
sometimes.
think, like it was just a rush of blood to the head.
Yeah.
And like I always loved playing rugby and I'd love getting at people's heads.
Yeah.
Like I was always saying something. I was like, I'd go to the line out and I'd start talking to someone or winding someone up. And then I'd ask the ref how's fishing getting on and all that sort of stuff. So, you know what I mean? I was always a yapper.
Yeah.
So if I could get someone to hit me, then I'd done my job.
Yeah, correct.
So, Are you like that in the forward? Did you get
Oh,
that much in the forwards these days?
Bit of scrum talk,
a
surely.
wee bit, but front row you can't get too big for your boots because there's always the next scrum or the next carry. So when you're on top, it's good, but I try not to say too much. Yeah.
Yeah, is that niggle through the NPC as well? Do you get that bit of
Oh,
niggles?
definitely. Yeah, there's definitely that aspect.
Banter.
That sort of that gamesmanship, I'd probably say. Like you're coming in to clean a ruck, someone checks you, or if you're just standing close to a ruck, you get cleaned out, elbows, all sorts. But it's part of the game, and I've had a sort of bit of experience in that level now, so you sort of start to learn what to look out for and how to sort of look after yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, because I reckon that's one of the biggest parts of the game is off the ball. And what you're doing off the ball, you're taking up space.
Yeah,
and there's
100%,
just getting into people. I just love watching that. I love it like when you're chatting away or you've made a big tackle or someone's saying something off the ball. So you're a big talker out there, Jay?
Oh, not probably like that. I don't mind people chirp me, eh?
Yeah.
I'm sort of one of those guys that, like, if I get angry, I tend to play better.
Yeah.
Usually got a pretty calm head. Like, I'm not normally one to get a yellow or anything for doing anything like punching or anything like that. If someone gets into me, I tend to sort of work harder and just sort of get fizzed up. So I usually get one of the boys to give me a few slaps before the game. It's Hunter this year. He's the chosen one. Just wakes me up and gets me ready to go. So, I don't tend to chirp too much. Just try to use the actions, eh?
Yeah. And that's what I love about rugby is that aspect of it is it's telling a story. So you're telling it like even in a win like that when you had in the weekend, a lot of people wouldn't have given you that. Like they would have said Harbour's on a roll, they're going to roll you, But the weather helped, and it was just conditions that helped you get that win. And the red card. I didn't think Rico would have made a bigger difference in the second half, but it did because they were disjointed in the second half. So, and then you guys just put your head down and just went for it. Yeah. So, that's all part of the story of the game that we love the most. So, finishing up now, thinking about your season going ahead. So, you've got Southern next week, the Ron Reggett. So, that's another big game to step up. Yeah. And they're only going to get bigger and bigger. So for you guys, I think you've got two teams that are coming good. So what are your thoughts coming up against Southern this weekend?
They're obviously a big pack. Really set piece has been really polished for them this year, and for us it's always a key space. So probably from my part of the game would be, just look to challenge them at set piece. Try to disrupt their game, but they're a good side, and we had a good win on the weekend. But we've got to sort of stay grounded and not think that we're too good now, and just go through our process as we do through the week, and just try to keep consistency in our performances. Really. Yeah,
and so I seen with their win against GI, they put Macca in at first 5.
Yeah.
So that's someone you're going to be looking for, Joe, and then young and Toops in there. So Toops is quite elusive. So what's the plan to keep them quiet?
Macca and Toops always good. Good experience as well, like throughout their whole team too. But like us at the moment, we've got a few Blazers getting around the club, which is pretty cool. But you definitely notice on the field just that club level whether they've played reps or not. So just like Hunt was saying, off the ball stuff, and whether it's gamesmanship or a bit of niggle.
Yeah.
They're always a tough team to play, Southern. And yeah, the likes of Macca, we always know what he's like.
Yeah.
He always shows up, whether he's on the team sheet or not. He's always there. He's always there somehow. Eh? He's always there. So I've got a few tricks up our sleeve, I think, in the defensive game plan this week to hold him at bay. I've heard he's not playing, but like I said, he might show up. So you got to plan for it. Eh?
He started a rumour that he was going to GI. Just shits and giggles. So
That's Macca.
That's Macca.
Yeah.
So but then if he's not playing, you've got Wyndham back, the young fella. So he's a Spencer-like player.
Yeah, he's classy.
He's really good on his feet, and he's got speed to boot. Like that try he scored against, I think it was Varsity.
Yeah.
He just come from nowhere. It wasn't even in the picture frame, and this ball popped up in the air, and all of a sudden he's there, boom, straight through. So yeah. Now you guys, I think, will be moving on, and I think you're definitely going to be in the top 6. Where you land, it's totally in your hands, and I think you guys can do it. And if they win, you heard it from me. Right. Thanks a lot,
Awesome.
AC, and I'll catch you on the sideline. Cheers, guys.
Sweet. Cheers, mate. All good.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Is it all right?
Yeah, that's good.
Cheers,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah.